Ultimately, when we think about our society, we think about growth, we think about the investment in people and people as resources. Everything starts from birth. We don't often take a chance to look at that. We talk a lot about the K-12 experience. We talk about higher education. But what happens before that? If a child is not prepared for kindergarten, if a child is not prepared to read and to write and does not understand those things, everybody's not coming in at the same level.
All children are different. Everybody comes with their own set of challenges, and being sensitive to those challenges and supporting them where they are so they can all be kindergarten ready. So it excites me of all the different resources that we have. We do the ECHRs, and ECHRs, of course, is the environmental assessment. How to set up this environment so to best meet the needs of each of your individual children. Through the coach, through the curriculum, through the assessment tools we're using class.
When I taught pre-K, I was introduced to the classroom and I didn't have any hands-on experience. If I had had a success coach when I was teaching pre-K, it would have helped me be a better teacher. It would have helped me, especially with classroom management.
The work that we're doing in supporting the educators in what they do is allowing them to show up to work as their best selves. Because if they're allowed to be their best selves, then we get our best children.
Those types of things allow the teachers just a better insight into each child and how to kind of tailor their learning. And having that in the private classroom, I felt like was a really big difference this year than years I've seen in the past.
So I would say one of the great benefits for us around the ARPA dollars is around the focus of continuing equity. So the district gets an equity coordinator who's phenomenal, who's looking at how do we ensure our approach to pre-K enrollment, to pre-K family support, to pre-K communication is equitable. Several communities have invested in making universal pre-K a norm.
Doesn't make any sense that teachers don't make the money. It doesn't make any sense that that's a profession that people don't want to go in because it's not.
It's just not feasible. And she left it and she said, this is the job I love. I love being the teacher assistant, so be it. But she can't. How much we lose is not something we could really quantify because we don't know how much we're losing. But we can see how much we gain from this.
I would want every kid to have the same as ours, regardless where they're from, background. I think everybody deserves the same. Everybody should be on the same footing to start with.
It's good that now you have data to show, look at that. This is what happens when you pay the teachers fairly. And this is the impact it can have. And it's not just impact on a little kid, it's impact on the next school, it's impact on our population.
Teaching a child is not an easy task, and the demands continue to rise daily. Teachers are not only teaching in a classroom, but they're parents, they're counselors, they're nurturing, they're wearing so many hats. And a lot of them really enjoy what they do on a daily basis, but the value is not there. And so the ARPA dollars are very important because it allows those teachers to still work full time and go back to school and receive a degree at the pace that they would like to receive that degree. And so it helps us to maintain the quality care that we're providing on a daily basis.
The pre-K priority program, paying for my education, was very important given that I have 3 children. Having just one child is very expensive. So it was very beneficial to me and my family and my kids. I didn't have to worry about paying for financial aid or anything like that. That was a blessing. You have so many people that don't know their worth as far as being a teacher. The career in itself is not looked upon as, a doctor or a lawyer, but we're just as important because we're the ones teaching those doctors, lawyers, engineers, myself, learning how to guide the next future generation.
What we've learned in Head Start is that the parents are the first teachers of the children. We know if the parents, if they're not in a healthy place or if they have certain challenges or barriers, it makes it difficult overall for how that child will develop in time. So, just making sure families are able to thrive.
When I gave birth to Leah, I was still in college. My grandmother was my babysitter. And when she couldn't babysit, I would take Leah to school with me. So when she got to an age where she was really a distraction in class, I had to, make a decision. Gratefully, we learned about Head Start and she started going there. So our family advocate was Miss McLeod, and I absolutely love her. My grandmother passed away probably a couple of months before the school year started. She was a big part of our daily lives. And so transitioning to being able to take my kid to school and all the things that my grandmother used to do, I had to switch jobs. It was a lot changing in our personal lives. She made sure that school was just as normal as it could be. And even all the way down to making sure that we had transportation that we needed to get to school. And they even encouraged me to go get therapy and grief counseling to be able to help me be a better parent for my child.
The thing that's most surprised me since being on the steering committee is learning how much work goes into this. All the parts that need to go into educating families, setting up equitable systems, staffing those systems. There's far more pieces than I realized, and I didn't realize how much the community worked together. So that's been a really beautiful thing to see and has made me not just happy to be a part of it, but more proud that my son is a part of this system.